Are you looking to get custom merch for your band? PM Star Promotions is producing all types of promotional items such as shirts, hats, stickers, banners, koozies, skate decks, and much, much more. All products are imprinted in the USA and made to last while keeping your cost as low as possible. Need a shirt design or logo made? The PM Star team has over 20 years experience in graphic design to make your ideas come to life. PM Star Promotions is making their way by working alongside with national bands and record labels including Crowbar, Goat Whore, and Ripple Music. To get customized, dependable work or check out the package deals that fit your budget and other exciting offers, please check out our featured collection on Facebook, PM Star Promotions, or visit www.pmstarpromo.com. It's time to get noticed.
MHOG secreting, leaving a stain. You ain't as dope as us, bitch. Stay in your lane.
Three, two,
and welcome back to the Metalhead of God podcast. I am your host, Wayne, and these two fine gentlemen who are the sexiest men in the world besides myself are...
I'm the Rum Guy.
It sounded like you said you were a pelican.
What?
When you answered, it said pelican. I was like, all right, cool.
I didn't say pelican.
But,
You're weird.
I know. I'm weird. You know that. Anyway, thank you guys.
How has everybody been? Adam, how you been?
I am great. How are you, Rum?
I am super.
Thanks for asking.
Sure. You've been doing some traveling, haven't you? You went down to Florida.
Has it been that long since I've spoken to you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Really? I thought it was an episode after I got back from Florida.
No, sir.
Nope.
Oh. Yeah, well, I mean, a few weeks ago I went to Florida. All right, I'm sorry. I was gonna call you today because I haven't spoken to you in a while.
How was it? Did you have a good time?
Yeah, I think I talked about it a little on the show. I think I'm just to the point where traveling alone doesn't do a lot. I mean, I guess it depends on where I go, but I'm just kind of reminded that I'm alone in a way that I'm not when I'm alone at home.
So is it like a not a good alone?
No, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I wish I hadn't gone out there, and it was a good trip, but I just I don't know. I miss a lot of traveling for me is about sharing experiences with people.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
I'm not quite when I was younger. Doing things alone, was like whatever, like it's good,
Sure.
for you, But as you get older, I feel like, or at least as I get older, I just feel like it just feels a little hollow.
Have you thought about maybe, I don't know, not traveling alone?
I have, but I haven't met any women in quite a while, and most of my friends are not in positions to,
You can go to Craigslist.
Yeah, that's a rum idea.
It really is a rum idea. It's beautiful.
We'll call that Plan X.
Okay.
And if I don't die between A and S, I'll consider it.
Well, I hear you found some really nice people on Craigslist.
Yeah. I mean, you also find, serial killers.
Rapists.
Yeah, but at least you're getting some.
I mean, you're definitely, there's a good possibility you are getting some. It's just what end you're getting it at.
It's true. But,
Well, what about you, Rum? How's the new job? Is it exciting?
New job is all right. It's pretty good. It's been a transition, trying to get everything organized. I'm still trying to get everything organized for the company, and it's good. It's really good. It's starting to get busy into the busy season. And my off time, when you move, you just have so much fucking shit. You don't remember having. I didn't remember having this much crap. Mm-hmm. And there's the boxes that I hadn't opened from the last time I moved. So I thought, hey, what? I'm going to go through this stuff. And then I ended up opening on my second box. I stopped because I found like a bunch of music that I had mixed and done all those mashups and stuff. Mm-hmm. I was like, I don't even remember I did all this stuff. So I started listening to all those and going through all that stuff and going, man, this is pretty cool. I said, I forgot I did this when I labeled stuff. I was going through, so much shit. I would do like a mashup, and then I would put when I did it. I had this whole system of like categorizing these mashup CDs with things that were going on at the time. So I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. So now I can it's like a diary of mashups. It was really weird. So I've been going through those, and I didn't realize I did so many of them.
I really think you should, donate some of those to me so I can play some of those tracks on here. I think it'd be really cool.
I'll definitely get you some. I need to get a fucking computer with a goddamn disk drive.
Yeah, you do.
I have a fucking laptop that runs off an SD card.
Just you can get a very cheap disk drive for it, like an external.
Yeah, I could, but I'd just rather get a whole fucking laptop that's worth a shit.
Well, the problem is that you're gonna have to get something a little older because they're all trying to move away from that.
Yeah. Well, fuck.
Or you can.
I got to get them all back onto a computer, onto an actual hard drive somehow.
You would just get yourself a desktop.
I think that's where I'm going to go. I think I'm going to go with a desktop.
It's cheaper.
Yeah, I think that's the way I'd like to go. I like working with a desktop better than a laptop because I've got tablets. I've got this big paperweight that I call a
Don't
laptop.
talk about it that way. How dare you?
But I need to get something, and I want to get all this stuff back onto a computer, onto a disk drive, and as soon as I get you, and then I'll get you some of those mashups I did. Some of them are pretty good. Some of them I'm like, what the fuck was I thinking?
Speaking of mashups, have y'all heard any of these? Like, I was just exposed to this the other day. There's apparently like a whole thing of people mashing up the song All Star by Smash Mouth with other songs.
No, I have not even remotely heard of this.
There are tons of them, and it's insanely mesmerizing.
Because I've got that. I did that about 10 years ago.
What did you mash it up with?
Oh, God, I just listened to the damn thing about
potatoes.
About a week ago.
If you have it, you have to send it to me.
Okay.
Because, we played one of them on the front end of Grinning Hosts. It was All Star by Smash Mouth with YMCA.
Oh, weird. Yeah. I'm going to say probably mine, if I remember correctly, was with Zeppelin or something like that.
See, I got to hear that now. And if you didn't do it, I'm going to be pissed at you.
No, I know I've got it here somewhere. I know I did one with James Earl Jones doing This Old Man. This old man, he played Knick Knack on this thing. That's that old nursery rhyme. But I did mash that with Immigrant Song.
Interesting.
Which actually turned out pretty good. It's kind of, speaking of mesmerizing, it's kind of like, is that James Earl Jones? I did do that. That's fucked up.
Yes.
But yeah, so yeah, I'll get whatever I can to you. I've got a lot. So that was my thing for a long time. I actually thought about getting back into it, and because it was kind of therapeutic for me.
Well, it's, you can do that, or I don't know, do yoga.
No,
Hey,
yoga's for pussies.
If Diamond Dallas Page can do yoga, you can do yoga too.
As I thought.
I mean, that's a weird argument, but sure.
So what else is going on in the world?
All kinds of stuff.
Yeah, almost nuclear war. That's fun.
I don't know how much fun it is, but or how close to nuclear war it is.
We're not anywhere near that. That was a pissing match, frankly.
Kind of was, really.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just trying to start a subject here.
Don't cross the streams.
I have something that I don't know if it interests y'all, but it's about podcasting in a tangential sense. So I've been doing these, trying to do more of these road blogs.
Yeah, I saw some. They're really good.
Thank you. I did one today about a subject that specifically I don't necessarily care much about, but it sort of tangentially relates to all of us. There's this thing called Disflix. And basically what it is it's a bunch of YouTubers and bloggers in the theme park community got together and decided to start a video. It's like a combination of YouTube and Netflix for theme park people.
Okay.
It's a paid subscription service, and they just announced it a couple days ago, and it was going to be $10 a month. And I'm not in the theme park community. I don't pay much attention to any of that shit, and I don't know any of those people. But the other Grinning Hosts guys were talking about it, and I was like, what the fuck is this? And then I saw people going on about it constantly today. So I finally broke down and asked somebody, and I was like, well, what's the deal? And they explained what it was. And so all these people were like just trashing them back to the Stone Age, like constantly, like just even Universal Studios, the person who runs their Twitter made like a little like snarky comment like, yeah, I guess we're going to go make Universal flicks now, right? And like, yeah, it's not really even funny, but just trashing these people. And I was like, well, why? I was like, what? Did they do something to somebody? And from what I understand, it was very simple. Well, like, why would you create a subscription service for something that you can find for free online? I was like, well, who gives a shit? Why is that a reason to like try and destroy something that somebody's building? And so I made this road blog today that was basically talking like about the whole subject. And in general, the central point was that, people don't understand like how hard it is these days to monetize content. Even for YouTubers, like YouTube's getting harder and harder for like the smaller guys to because they're tightening the noose on a lot of the smaller guys,
right?
And they're banning a lot of content even from bigger people. So it's just getting harder and harder. So like a lot of these people are starting to think, well, all right, well, YouTube was successful for us, but what do we do now? What if they, just start, what if they come after me next or whatever? So like, that's all it was. And I didn't even think it was a smart business model because I do agree with the fact that you can find probably either the same or better content online for free, but I don't begrudge somebody trying to find a way to make money creating content. And like, so it was a pretty long rant, but my central point just being like, everybody sits there and just talks about how everything needs to be free and all that. And it's like, well, and I'm not complaining about our audience, but I'm just saying, the people who listen to this, they don't pay us, like we do this, we give up our time, we give up our money, we give up our lives, and the idea that somebody else is out there and they just said, all right, well, what if we tried this to try and capitalize on this and like make, we need to make a living off this. And the people, and I'm sure a lot of the people that were complaining, or most of them, probably didn't even watch those particular people's content, but
most likely,
but they were watching somebody's content. There was this whole thing about this guy that named Adam the Woo. I don't know who the fuck he is, but he's apparently a big YouTuber, and he got banned from Universal, and all these people were like, hashtag unban the Woo, and like they all got upset. And I'm like, okay, what would have happened if this fucking guy had decided, thanks for all the support, guys. I'm starting a subscription service now. Would they have just been like, well, fuck you?
Probably.
We don't like you if you're free.
Most likely.
But so.
Yeah, you see, most of these YouTube guys make their money by merchandise.
No. So, I'm sure some do, but that's...
A lot of it's subscription.
But you can't... No. If you subscribe...
Yeah. Rum means subscribers, not subscription service.
I'm sorry, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I see what you're saying. Yeah, I was saying, no, it's not subscription service because we don't pay that to see any of those people. What I'm saying is the guys that Caitlin watches are mostly... like they sell a bunch of shit. Like they coin their like little term or ending thing, and they put it on a shirt, and they sell fuck tons of shirts.
Well, depending on, actually, most of these places have, most of these people have different revenue streams, like a bunch of them at the same time. A lot of them will have Patreons, and yeah, they will sell merch. But I'm pretty sure the majority, I guess, depending on what level you're at, like, if you have like 500,000 to 1 million subscribers, the majority of your money is probably coming from Google Ads.
Yeah, the guy I'm talking about, he actually has 10 million subscribers, so I know.
Yeah, most of his money's coming from Google, from the advertising.
Because he's got a lot of fucking people that follow this dude.
And hey, when you have 10 million subscribers, you're sitting pretty for the rest. You are a millionaire. That guy's 100% a millionaire.
Oh, yeah. Oh, big time.
So, and look, great for that guy. And I look, even people I don't like, I never begrudge somebody hustling and trying to make a living doing something you love. Because I think we'd all agree that we'd like to do this for a living and not have to work our jobs. And, I'd love to go out and every day make road blogs. And I really, honestly, if I could figure out a way to do it, I would quit my job today and just go on the road and just go like
do shit,
like content on and just record with y'all from hotels or something. But, I got bills.
Yeah. I agree, dude. If I could fucking just shut down everything that I do besides this, fuck, I'd love it. That'd be fucking great. Making money.
It would be nice.
We'd have a steady income on this. It'd be beautiful.
Let's do it, man. Let's just do it. Let's all quit. Let's all get let's go invest everything we've got into like a bus or some sort of vehicle we can get a bunch of equipment in. Kind of like one of those sprint vans, and we can have a back end set up like a surveillance thing, like the cops do when they're watching you or doing it. Anyway,
you want to do like a party bus with like podcast material?
Yeah, and we can go cross country and shoot pool to make our way and live life stories, and we could have a theme song. We could use that song. I'm going to country, gotta go. We could do that as our opening thing, and it'd be really, really cool. And talking about life on the road. And start fights with biker gangs and that'd be awesome.
You've heard it here first, guys.
Fuck you for putting that song in my head, Ron.
I know, right? I was thinking the same thing.
I've literally forgotten that song existed, and I think I've only ever heard it like twice on the radio and once on that stupid commercial.
It's Country Joe and the Fish.
That means nothing to me.
That's who sings the song. It was very popular. I'm going to country.
God damn you, Ron. No, but seriously, like I have a lot of fun. Like I actually kind of figured something out. Like when I'm sitting at home recording video content, I kind of hate myself. But like when I'm doing it, for whatever reason, when I'm doing it in my car, even though I'm less focused, it's a little easier for me.
I like the setup that you have in your car. I really need to set one up those in ours. So when we do the trip to Dallas,
I want to do but I want to make an old fashioned blanket fort and do everything out of a blankie fort.
I don't know. Rum, serious question. How is it that you make people hate you so much but miss you so much?
It's a really, really vexing and confusing thing.
Wouldn't that be cool though? You're underneath like Afghans and some boxes, and you have a flashlight, and you're just underneath there, and you're talking about some serious subjects. Well, like eating like Stay Puft marshmallows.
Serious to you, right?
When you make love to your wife, does she alternate between trying to smother you with a pillow and telling you I love you?
Yes.
I do that.
Wayne tries to smother.
I just try to smother him with a pillow and tell him, I love you, dude, but I'm sorry.
Speaking of which, did you see what I told Caitlin online?
Yeah, it was fucking funny, dude.
She asked. She had posted a picture. I think what horror movie was that? Was it Poltergeist?
I think it was. I think it was like the second one or third one, somewhere around there.
She posted this picture of, I guess it was Poltergeist, of this girl watching someone sleep, clearly like wanting to murder them. And she said, Wayne, like, is this how you feel every time you leave me and the boy?
And I said, yes.
Morning. And he said, yeah. And I said, well, close. Usually he's hovering over you with a pillow. And she wrote, he let me live another day. And I said, let's call it a half a day.
This show is funny, man. Oh, fuck.
Shit.
Well,
yeah, I missed doing this.
Yeah,
I'm going to try to be on the show tomorrow if I can. Depends on how things go, but I'm going to try to take my equipment with me. At least I could.
Well, you'll be okay. You'll be okay because we're not going to record tomorrow because Adam is out.
He's out?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And then with you having to be in another state, you need to worry more about what's going on there than you do need to worry about this, dude.
What state are you going to?
Well, funny enough, I'm going to Florida.
Oh, really? What part?
What the fuck is it? New Port Richey.
I take it that's South Florida?
That's just north of Tampa.
Okay. All right, so middle Florida. Gotcha. Oh, that's weird. So yeah, I guess your new job has like offices there.
No, it's a family emergency.
I'm going to go deal with some family issues that are going on down there. I have to help my folks.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah, it's not a good visit.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go down there and see what's going on, and then I'll figure it out when I get down there.
Well,
but
we can do.
But
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Well, do me a favor and finish out this cast and keep the people entertained while I'm gone. All right.
I don't know if we can do that, but we'll try.
I actually got plenty of stories, so
that is what I need to hear. I need to hear plenty of stories. So you gentlemen, you have a wonderful evening. Everybody listening, I will catch y'all later.
All right, man. Look, take care. Be safe.
Will do.
Talk to you later, Ronnie.
Keep it real and keep it black.
Yeah.
Always do.
You kind of can't help it. You just...
Totally. They took my card away from me. I'm still pissed at Kevin over that.
Well, I mean,
I saw a black chick the other day, and I was like, God damn, if I still had my black card, I could fuck her.
Well, dude, I told you, since you're driving around in white privilege, you can do whatever you want.
Privilege usually gets you black people. I mean, this isn't like 1855.
Well, I don't mean like
the most fucked up joke ever made.
Yeah, dude, I don't mean like slavery wise. I meant like you can get her because the car is nice.
I'd rather own her, but I hear you. Speaking of the car, I don't know why. I guess because the boy was freaking out, but I forgot to tell you a story. So when I was making arrangements to get the car, obviously, like you never think about it when you own a car, but when it comes time to buy it, like it's more complicated than you remember.
Right.
Because like the first thing you do is like find out how much you're going to be paying a month, and you're like, oh, can I figure that out? Yeah, I guess, But the second part, at least for me, I always forget, like, oh, right, my insurance is going to go up. Like,
yeah,
fuck, like, am I going to be able to afford this? Like when it's just the car note, you're like, oh, yeah, I can afford that. And then you start thinking about the insurance. So, and when you have a car note, you have to have full coverage.
Yes, you do. And it does suck. Yeah,
so and my deal is at the time. So let me start with this is before I found out I would be able to trade in my car. So as far as I knew, I was going to have two cars, one that I was getting rid of within the month, and I was as far as I knew, like you can pause the insurance on that until it's sold. Then I would have the new car, the white privilege, and then I had 2 motorcycles, one of which I currently have the insurance paused on because I really need to figure something out and get rid of it. So I was like, oh man, like State Farm might cost me an arm and a leg with all this. So let me look around first. Let me find out what's going on. So it was suggested to me that I should check out Geico, and I'd always kind of thought about Geico because supposedly they were decent but cheap.
Right, they're supposed to be like the most reasonable insurance for the price.
It's not like out of somebody's basement, basically. Like there's cheaper, but it's always like something sketchy that you never.
Oh yeah. Like you can get Johnny Wyndham's, insurance. I'm just making that shit.
My favorite is the General.
Oh yeah, he's my favorite. If you ever have you ever looked him up, like to see if you can get insurance through the General?
No.
What basically the General is not an insurance company.
It's not?
No, when you type in, like I did this, I looked it up just to see. When you type in the General insurance, it's like a insurance company that finds you cheaper insurances from everywhere else.
So it's like Expedia for insurance.
Kinda.
That's fucking retarded.
Cause at least that's what came up on the site when I pulled it up. I could be completely wrong. It could be an insurance company, but when I tried it, that's what came up, and I was like, "This is horse shit. I don't need this. I just need, you know."
Sure, it wasn't like giving you their price and then showing you other people's.
No, because there was no price for the General itself.
Wow, that's fucking. Wow. Well, I wasn't gonna go to the General anyway because fuck that 1980s cartoon commercial.
Dude, I love that commercial, man. And Shaq used to have the General. You know what I'm saying? So
I know he's got like fast acting to acting.
Yeah. Well, he used to when he was younger, man, he used the General.
I feel like this is a racist joke that I'm just missing.
No, it really isn't. I mean, there's actually a commercial with him on it saying something about him, when I was younger, I had to use the General, like that. Like it's okay for me to use it when I'm younger, but now, fuck that shit. I got plenty of money.
Like it's a blow-up doll. Like, yeah, when I was younger, I had the urge. Sometimes I had to use the General. So I called Geico.
Right. Did the lizard answer?
Huh?
I said, did the lizard answer?
No, it was an old black man.
That fucking bastard. Always never working. Go ahead.
Like, I don't know. I don't trust anyone with an English accent.
Mart.
So this old man answers, and so I tell him my situation. I was like, and I apologize, because I'm kind of rambling a little bit as I'm wont to do. And I was like, yeah, I'm sorry, like if I'm being confused. He's like, no, I'm not confused at all. I'm like, okay, good. So he's like, all right, well, first thing he tells me off the bat is that their motorcycle policies are separate. He's like, so I have to do two policy estimates for you.
All right.
I told him in advance. I was like, I'm just looking right now, but I'm trying to find out what I can afford.
Right. You just kind of browsing insurance companies to get the right price.
Which is how I am with everything. I'm not, I told my sister-in-law the other day was talking about how she was sort of pressured and sort of stupidly tricked herself into buying a vehicle for more money than she should have. And I was like, well, your mistake is whenever you're sitting down in a situation like that, the first thing you tell them is like, look, I'm just looking. I'm not walking out of here with a car. I'm not walking out of here with whatever. Just let them know up front. Like, I'll listen to your pitch. Don't fuck with me. But so I told the guy, I was like, I'm just. This is a fact finding mission.
Did you get some facts? Just the facts, ma'am.
I got something. So the guy's like, all right, so the motorcycle policy is separate. I'm just going to start with the two cars right now.
Word.
And so he starts asking me all these questions, and I won't remember all of them. I wish I had written them down. So one of the first ones was, have you had any tickets or accidents? And the tickets, I was like, yeah, but none of that shit's on my record, so I ain't fucking mentioning that. And I was like, well, I had an accident sometime between a year. I can't remember exactly when, sometime between a year and a half ago. He's like, okay, when? I was like, I don't know, man.
You want me to know now?
Last year and a half. And it really doesn't matter because, like, what's important is that it's within the last 5 years. Like, that's the relevant part. Like, if it's within that 5 years, it doesn't matter exactly when. But he kept kind of pressuring me, and I was like, all right, man, November. I was like, if it really, if you need a month, I'm just going to choose one because it doesn't fucking matter. November. And he's like, all right, November. He's like, did they pay out any money to you? And I said, well, I mean, I had insurance, I was like, yeah, man. He's like, how much? I said, I don't really remember that either.
You should have just said like $65 billion.
Yeah, well, that would have raised my insurance rate. But I said, I think 5,000, which I think it was actually north of that. But I was like, it doesn't matter.
Or you should have said, I don't know, it was like $10.
Right.
Just 10.
I was like 5,000. I was like, that's a decent estimate. He's like, all right. Did they pay out anything to her? And I was like, probably. I hit her car. He's like, okay. He's like, how much? And I said, how the fuck would I know?
Yeah, how are you supposed to know what they gave her?
Like, do you think we're Facebook friends? Like, I was like, hey, how much they give you? Can I get some of that, baby?
Yeah, hook a brother up because And
he goes, so what are you thinking? 800? I was like, sure. Why not? Like, if we're just making stupid shit up at this point, yeah. 800.
Wait, okay, all right, hold on. So you hit her.
Mm-hmm.
You got 5,000, but you only got $800.
Because my car was totaled and I had full coverage.
Right, I understand that.
Her car was not totaled. Her fender was fucked up.
Oh, all right. I just thought that was funny, Blake.
She got more than $800. I don't know how much, but I would say at least $2,000. But my car was totaled. That's why I got as much as I did. So he asked me that. And I'm just like, all right, whatever, $800, man. All right, sure. And so he's like, all right, and bear in mind, again, I'm forgetting some of the questions.
Oh, of course.
So he starts asking me, he's like, all right, so this car that you're getting, what kind is it? I said, well, it's a Volkswagen Passat. He says, all right, so are you using this for business, pleasure, or getting to and from work or school? I was like, I mean, I wasn't going to say business because I'm not stupid enough to say that, but I was like, I mean, why is it a one or the other thing?
Why couldn't you just say, I'm trying to get pleasure from work and school?
Well, I told him.
It really threw him off.
Nothing was throwing that guy off. He was already off. So I said, I mean, primarily I'm going to be going to and from work with it. He's like, all right. He's like, well, I'm going to put you down for 16,000 miles a year on this. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, that's a weird thing to try and estimate, But I mean,
yeah, because
14's the
16,000 miles.
Yeah, I think 14's the average for most cars, but whatever. I was like, all right, man, sure. And nice. He goes, so on the other car, the Impala, I said, yeah, the one I'm trying to sell. He's like, I'm gonna put that one down for pleasure. What do you think? 14,000 miles a year? I was like, the car that has a busted transmission that I'm trying to sell? No, man. I was like, I'm trying to sell it immediately. Like, I need the money. He's like, oh, okay. So less than that. All right. So between 0 and 3,000, you thinking? I was like, I mean,
how about just 0, guy?
And 0 is one of those numbers. So yeah.
How about 0? Sure. 0, you dumb fuck. Really?
I was looking around. I was like, is there a fucking camera? Is this?
Ashton Kutcher comes running out of the background. You've been punked.
I was like, Jesus Christ. I was like, dude, are you for real? And so he's like, all right, I got all the information I need. And I'm sure I'm missing something that was really good, but the 0 to 3,000 thing was maybe my favorite. Cause
that's so fucking stupid.
I said, dude, the transmission's busted in it. It does not run. I'm selling it for like parts, like or not parts, but for somebody who's looking to fix it up.
Right.
0 to 3,000. Yeah.
Perfect.
Sure. I was like, what?
Jenga, motherfucker.
3,000 miles with no transmission.
Jenga. Jenga.
So I said, he says, all right, I got enough information. And he starts running the tab just for the cars. And he says, all right, it looks like your policy for every 6 months is going to be $18,000. And wait, no, 1,800. Sorry.
I was like 18,000. Jesus Christ.
Sorry, $1,800 a month every 6 months. And he's like, it's gonna be $287 a month. And I was like, holy shit! Because like in my head, I'm like, I still have the motorcycles. What? I was like, is that for both cars? He's like, yeah. I was like, oh, okay. All right. I was like, cool. Well, how much for just the one? Because I mean, I'm getting rid of the other one. And he's like, all right, well, let me do the estimate for that. I was like, well, because the whole time I'm thinking, well, why didn't you do the estimate for that in the first place, motherfucker? Like, I've told you fucking like 19 times, I'm getting rid of the car. Like the part I need to know is how much I'm going to be paying like regularly, not after the first month. I mean, I didn't know that too, but so he does up the numbers and he goes, $343 a month.
What?
And I was like, wait, let me back this up. Okay, earlier when I asked you about the $287, you said that was for both cars, right? He's like, yes. And the $343 is just for the one car? He says, yes. I said, so it would literally be, I would literally save money if I just kept the shitty car in the backyard.
Yeah.
And he said, well, what you got to understand is that I'm only putting limited liability on the black car. So I'm spreading the risk across both vehicles, which on some level actually does make sense. It's a retarded fucking like algorithm that they're using. But what he's saying is that if he assumes half the time I'm going to be driving the car that's only limited liability, that means I only have half the chance of having to get a full payout on the one car.
Right.
Which, I mean, it kind of makes sense.
Kind of.
But I was like, $343 fucking dollars. I was like, Jesus, and this is Geico? I was, and then I was like, wait, and I still have the fucking motorcycles, which is going to be at least $50. I'm assuming more than that. So I can't afford like $450 a month in insurance. So,
yeah, because that'd be just insurance, not considering the note of the car.
Right. And he says, all right, so you want me to sign you up? And I was like, well, oh, wait, let me back up a little bit. When he told me the $343, I literally said, Jesus. Now let's fast forward again. So you want me to sign you up? I was like, no, man. No. Like what part of this exchange made you feel like good in that assertion? Like when I yelled out Jesus, do you think I was praising the Lord that you were charging me $450 a month in fucking insurance? And bear in mind, at no point during this did he actually bother to do this. I'm guessing about the motorcycle insurance policy because he never bothered to do it. He just strictly went to, so you want me to sign you up? I was like, no, man. No. What? No. so I hung up with him and I ended up calling State Farm. And shockingly, State Farm gave me a way more reasonable rate. I'm actually paying less for the motorcycles and the car than I would have for the one car by itself from Geico. So.
All right, repeat that one more time. I'm gonna have to cut that out and do it because you fuzzed out pretty good. Go.
Okay. What part?
That you actually paying less for.
Okay.
Go.
All right. So I'm actually paying less for the car and the two motorcycles than I would have for the one car at Geico.
Jesus, man.
State Farm.
That's pretty fucking amazing. That you know, see, there you go, people. Shop around and don't take the first thing you get.
And don't listen to people when they're like, "Oh, that's a much cheaper insurance policy."
Yeah, no.
It's I mean, don't get me wrong. I got a good story out of it.
You did. It was fantastic.
But I can only say that now that like everything worked out and I'm able to afford everything. Because at the time I was like, I'm fucked. I don't. I can't. There's no way. I mean, I'm gonna have to buy like a little piece of shit that's gonna break on me because I cannot afford this, you know. But no, like just the. So what are you thinking? Between 3,000 miles and zero?
Oh yeah, sure. Why not?
And I wasn't as rude to him as I'm making it sound, but like
You should have been. You should have been like, motherfucker. When
there were a few cases where I was there, like some of this is a direct translation of me saying, "Yeah, man, sure." Like if we're gonna make shit up, I at some point I said something to that effect to him. Like, oh, it was unbelievable.
people are dumb.
Yeah.
So yeah. So what else you got, man? You got anything super exciting? I was like, honestly, dude, I've been so busy and stuck in like work mode and doing things like that lately. I haven't had the time to even look up any news remotely. I mean, I know there's a bunch of tragedy out there, but I don't really want to talk about all the tragic. It's.
I mean, I have one thing. I don't know if it counts as tragic. I mean, it kind of does, but not really.
Well, no, I mean, like, the school shootings and all that bullshit that's going on.
San Bernardino? No,
Yeah.
and that's not even news. The only reason it's in the news is because one person shot another person on school grounds, but it was some sort of lover's quarrel. It was some fucking psycho dude who his girlfriend or wife, I'm not sure which, I never found out further information, but she worked at the school. He went nuts, went over there and shot and killed her, and two students got shot in the leg or something like that. They weren't killed. No, and don't get me wrong, it doesn't make it better. It does, but it doesn't. But the only reason it's in the news is because like it's like we need gun control.
Yeah, yeah. It's basically a flag for gun control rights. Yeah, I know.
Which is hilarious because California has some of the strictest gun control laws in the country.
And it seems to me that's the place everybody gets shot.
Yeah, well, the San Bernardino thing, like I was thinking about that today, and I was like, wasn't there another school shooting? But
no, that was the two terrorist people.
Yeah, the ones that shot up the bank. Yeah.
The wife and husband or whatever.
Yeah, whatever it was, but
they're dead.
I mean, it's a sad story, but it's not really news. No, the thing I wanted to talk a little bit about was did you hear about what happened on the United flight?
Oh, I did. I heard some vague stories about it and stuff, and I've seen 8 billion memes.
Okay, so basically what happened is now you've never flown before, so you wouldn't know this, but
right.
Airlines generally, if it's a packed flight, they'll overbook by a few seats. And the reason for this is because inevitably, most of the time, people miss their flights. The problem is that you can't predict when they will and when they won't. So occasionally flights are just straight up overbooked. And usually what they do is like before they start boarding, they'll tell you like once they find out that everybody's checked in at the airport, because they wait till everyone's at the airport to be sure, but they'll say, all right, before we start boarding, this flight unfortunately was overbooked, and If someone wants to give up their seats, they'll say, all right, we need 3 seats. If someone wants to give up their seats, we'll compensate you. We'll give you like $400, a free flight, and a hotel room for the night, and we'll get you out on the first thing in the morning, or the next available flight. Sometimes for major flights like Los Angeles to Chicago or something like that, it would be the next morning. But this flight was from Chicago to Louisville, Kentucky, so they don't fly there, that many times a day.
Right.
So my understanding is that the next flight was at 3 p.m. the next day, and so the other part of the story that you need to know, that you might not know, is that you might have, there was an episode where Rum talked about his flight benefits and how he ranked technically above like the captain or something like that.
Yeah.
One of his stories. I don't know how that works. I guess different airlines have different ones, but basically they needed the four employees in Louisville the next morning to suppose, like, they didn't say this for sure, but I'm assuming it was to man a flight. If it turned out to be 4 employees flying on buddy passes or something like that, they'd be really fucked. But I mean, I guess they can't get much more fucked than they actually are at the moment, because we'll discuss that in a minute. But they had to get 4 employees on that flight. Now, not only was the flight overbooked and they needed 4 seats, but they had already loaded everyone. So I don't know if this was last minute. They realized they needed to get those employees on that plane, but they'd already made like 2 or 3 mistakes. Because the thing is, like, this is all computerized. It's not done by hand. If they needed 4 employees flying on that plane to be out the next morning out of Louisville, they should have known that ahead of time.
Oh yeah, 100%.
This shouldn't be a last minute thing. So they start. The people are already boarded and sitting down, and they go on the loudspeaker and they say, "Look, this flight was overbooked. We have to have 4 seats." So they made the offer of $400. Blah blah blah, and nobody took it. And so after a few minutes, they said, well, we can't leave until we get 4 people to give up their seats. So we'll up the ante to $800. Nobody took it. So they said, we cannot leave with this number of people on the plane. And I don't know if they let them know that they had to get employees on there, that was the issue. Because I'm sure from the customer's perspective, they were like, we're all sitting. Who else needs to get on the plane?
Yeah, like my bags are in the fucking plane, ready to go. I'm sitting here. I'm not getting the fuck out.
Right. So they said, if nobody gives it up, we're going to have a computer choose 4 people at random, and you're going to be thrown off. So that's what they did. And now I assume the first 3 people, when they were selected, just got off the plane. The 4th one was an older man. I don't know how old he was, but he looked like he was maybe 60. Wearing glasses, and they went up to him and he said, I'm not getting up. Like, I'm a doctor. I have to be at the hospital first thing in the morning to see patients. I was like, I'm not. He said, I'm not leaving. And they said, well, sir, you have to. You've been selected. You have to leave. And he said, I'm calling my lawyer. And they said, you can do, well, I'm assuming this is basically what they said. It's like, you can do whatever you want, but we are calling the police. There's always police inside the airport.
Right, yeah.
If you do not leave voluntarily, we will have them escort you off the plane. And he said no. And so they got, I believe it was a policeman and a sky marshal, walked over and told him to get up, and he said no. And I don't know if he was calling his attorney at the time, but so they forcefully yanked him, like pulled him out of the seat. He hit his head on an armrest like he was bleeding, and they dragged him screaming out of the airplane. Meanwhile, the other passengers are like, what the fuck? Like 4 or 5 different people that I know of had pulled out their cameras and started recording.
Right, yeah.
Now, and what trips me out is that, like, there's a lot of people, like, it's kind of 50-50. Like, some of the people are like, that guy's a fucking idiot and he deserved what he got, and laughing at him. And did you hear that pussy scream? That kind of thing. And then there's a lot of people like me. They're like, what the fuck are you talking about? You know? And it's not even political. Like, I saw people on different sides of the aisle agree, like, saying that this guy's a fucking idiot. And my thing is, number one, it should have never gotten to that point. Like, there was a lot of people saying, well, why are they overbooking anyway? That actually helps keep down flight costs. Like, if they sell tickets that that people don't end up using, and they have to buy new tickets for another flight, you know, you still got to book plane and you made money. Like, they wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't helping.
Right.
I don't have a problem with that. I don't have the problem with overbooking. But the problem is like, if you're going to play that risk game, you better have plans B, C, D, and E ready to go in case things don't work out. And like, so they needed these. So the problem was they needed these 4 people who are employees in Louisville the next morning. There's offhand, there's at least 3 or 4 things that they could have done. One of them, maybe the most expensive, would have been to charter a flight, because they're coming out of Chicago O'Hare, one of the biggest airports in the country. It's like Chicago O'Hare, the one in Dallas, Atlanta, LAX, and then JFK. Maybe not. I'm not sure if JFK is one of the biggest, but it's basically Chicago O'Hare is a huge airport. Fucking, like, it's like a little fucking city, you know?
Yeah.
I'm kind of exaggerating there, but it's a big ass airport. But they could have chartered a flight and had them just sit down there on a private plane. And granted, that would have cost them a few thousand. And we'll get to how much this is actually costing them. Could have done that. They could have just kept upping the ante and just saying, look, we have to have these flights. Our final offer is $2,000 per person. And just like, because my thing is, I would have been negotiating.
Yeah, I'd have said, look, give me, I'll take, $1,600 and a first class flight on the next one. Yeah. We're good.
Now, granted, I don't know what all these. I'm assuming somebody could have gotten up, but I don't know what all these people's situations were. And being that the flight was like 3 p.m. the next day, that might have played a bigger reason as to why they weren't willing to do it. But the other thing is that all these airlines communicate. So, like, let's say I'm flying on a buddy pass, like I did. Well, no, I couldn't do it, but let's say an airport employee or airline employee is trying to get on a flight, but it's all booked up. He can't fly. Because customers take precedence in vacation situations, not the situation that they were in, but if you were just flying to Walt Disney World, the customer takes precedence because they're paying. But what you can do as an employee of, say, Southwest is then go book a flight and pay a reduced rate on Delta. So all they had to do was like find out who else was going to Louisville and when, and put the employees on there or put some customers on there, like I said, there's like 3 or 4 different things they could have done. At no point should it ever have even fucking entered into anyone's mind to yank a customer out of the fucking seat. Now, granted, technically speaking, they own the plane. They can do whatever they want. And if there's rules that people don't read, and I've never read it, like that are written into your ticket. But from a business standpoint, especially in today's, like I was explaining to somebody yesterday, like we live in an era where fucking everyone has a camera in their hand ready at every fucking second. Whenever you see this shit, like some celebrity actress is like, they hacked my phone and I had nude photos and they violated me. Look, you don't deserve that. It's sad that it happened. I guarantee you I looked at the pictures anyway.
I was going to say, I'm sure you looked at them.
I didn't get to see the most recent ones because I couldn't find the pictures. But
you're gonna
there was a new fappening. There was a fappening too. Like
are you fucking kidding me?
No, not at all.
Ah, I missed
Less
it.
famous actresses, but there was one I can't remember who that I really wanted to see naked. Anyway,
I missed that. Damn.
anyway, my point is like those women that you would say, well, you don't deserve what happened to you, but how do you fucking not know that this is what happens? That people take naked pictures, they tape sex videos on their fucking phone, and somebody hacks it and it gets out on the internet. It happens all the time. Every young girl that has sent naked pictures to her boyfriend has ended up crying because the dude fucking shared it with everyone, and like one of them broke up with the other one and he sent it, like posted it on the internet for everyone to see. Like, why do people not understand this is what fucking happens?
Because people are naive and they don't believe.
Well, I think with this situation, first of all, like one of them being a sky marshal, my understanding is the sky marshals are there to fucking protect you in case of fucking terrorists or in case there's some kind of incident. But this isn't an incident. This is United fucked up.
Oh, big time, dude. Big time.
I didn't do anything. So, like, the whole thing with the sky marshal, I'm like, that's not his fucking job. Like,
no.
He's there to protect the people, not fucking assault one of them.
Not wrestle out a fucking 60-year-old Asian man out of his seat and smash his face.
Right. And
I mean, if he had a fucking bomb, then okay.
Well, you know, he had egg rolls the night before, but
so he was the bomb. You heard me?
Yeah. So but the whole thing's pretty insane, and so now. Well, okay, so that's what I was getting at. So part of it, I think, is that I think sometimes with people in positions of authority, particularly like officers of the law, and I'm not condemning like police officers or anything like that, but I think there is like an escalation thing where somebody talks shit because they feel like they're a big man. And I'm not saying that's what this guy was doing, but I think officers kind of have like sometimes kick into overcompensation mode where they're like, I fucking told you to do something and I'm the authority and you're not going to do it. You know, like it's sort of a weird fucked up parental mode where like, I think they start to overcompensate and start to alpha male up, you know?
Yeah. They get cocky.
Yeah. So I think that plays that. And I think there is a little bit of a, I think that's kind of what happened. I think no one was thinking like this went to a manager supposedly, and all this was like in theory to save like $50,000 to $100,000 for the company, because if like at least $50,000 would have been lost if they hadn't gotten those employees there. But the thing is,
I think they're losing a lot more now.
They lost something like 800 million in stock value.
It was more than that. I think it was like 1.8 billion. I saw a like liner that said that their stocks have dropped that far.
Okay. I don't know. I saw 800 million halfway through the day. It seems to me if it's 1.8 billion, they're out of business.
I don't know. I'm just saying. To me, I thought it was.
They lost an astronomical.
It's a lot of money.
So it's. I mean, it's and here's the thing. The guy's gonna sue and he's gonna rightfully get a lot of money, and somebody said, well, you know, the guy should have gotten up, and I agree with that. Like I think he should have negotiated, and because I was arguing with Josh and he was saying, he's like, you wouldn't have gotten up, and I was like, there's a part of me that thinks no, but realistically, yeah, I would like, because I do like I was thinking to myself, I was like, you know, I'm always saying whenever you hear about these black kids that get shot, I always say, well, motherfucker, why'd you fight the cops? Like, that should always be in the back of your head. If fucking a cop tells you something, even if he's a complete piece of shit, he's completely in the wrong, do what the fuck he tells you. So,
yep.
So I would tell some young black kid, like, that got shot this, but I wouldn't tell this old man that. No, that's not right. If a cop tells you something, even if he's completely fucking in the wrong, you just do what they tell you. You know, if they tell you to fucking hop on one leg, then you fucking do it. And yeah, at some point you can get your retribution. You can file a report, whatever.
Unless he asks you to suck his dick.
I mean, you might have to suck it, but But my point is like, no, realistically, I probably would have gotten off the plane. And I will say it's sort of I hate to use this example, but it is sort of a, what is it, George Zimmerman situation where, Trayvon Martin, that sort of thing, where
Right.
The right answer is that there were two stupid people in that situation. One of them got killed because the other one had a gun.
Right.
But both of them were fucking in the wrong at some point. One might have been the wrong at first, but they're both. So, and it's similar in this one. I don't think the old man's quite as wrong, but yeah, he did act like a fucking idiot. Maybe he did it on purpose so that he could sue them. I don't know. I don't know the guy, but yeah, it's a fucking crazy situation, and United is fucked. I mean, there's no there's no PR, and I don't know if you saw the response that when this fucking thing happened, they put out a PR response that maybe is one of the worst PR response I've ever seen. It said something to the effect of, they explained what happened. They were like, we needed spots on the thing. The flight was overbooked. We needed 4 seats. The man was chosen. He refused to leave. So he was taken forcibly off the plane by police officers. If you have any questions, just send it to report it to the authorities.
Wow, that's pretty stupid.
Yeah. I mean, later on, like not long after, they issued an apology and said they were looking into it and their heart goes out. But their initial response was,
fuck you.
Fuck them. And now granted, you could argue they were just reporting the facts, but the facts were already out there. Like, nothing they said disagreed with the video that was shown. So it's I guess the part, maybe people didn't know that he was asked to leave the plane first, and why, but yeah, it's fucking, like, granted, people are going to lose their jobs, people that invested in the company, they're
pretty sad.
Stocks worth nothing, they're worth nothing, and it's all because there were, like, and my thing is, like, there should be a policy in place for this. Like, why isn't there an immediate policy that doesn't say, hey, don't fucking put your hands on a customer, because the thing is, like, even with that, the language in there that says, like, oh, we reserve the right to cancel the flight and and ask you to leave, even with that language, like, it doesn't change the fact that they entered a contract wherein he paid them money for a good and service, and they accepted it, and that is their only service, is flying people.
Right.
It's like it's not like, like you went to Domino's and they had a 2-for-1 deal, but they only gave you one. They said, well, the deal's over. That's like, this isn't a side business. This is their job, to fly you places. It's it's pretty crazy.
It's fucking sad, dude. It seriously is sad. Oh man.
So I guess we're at about an hour.
Yeah, we're pretty much out of time, man. It sucks for that guy. Although it doesn't suck because he's probably gonna get a lot of fucking money.
Yeah, no, I feel more sorry for the employees who are probably, and I'm sure they're gonna be downsizing, losing that much money.
Yeah, they're gonna lose a lot of jobs. Actually, you can probably go on eBay right now and buy planes for really cheap.
Maybe so. But on the other hand, the people who are involved in this should all lose their jobs.
I agree.
And I don't say that lightly. I mean, everyone's got families and stuff like that, but a whole bunch of people fucked up, and the fact that none of the flight crew were like, what the fuck, stop now. Like,
yeah,
what?
What kills me is nobody stopped them. Nobody said, this is a bad idea, you guys should stop.
I mean, there were people screaming that, but they weren't employees apparently. So but nobody stopped it. Like,
oh well.
What a crazy world.
Yeah. You got anything to say? Anything to announce? Anything to dance around about? Before we jump off.
No, I mean, I announced that my name was Buck Lightning. I'm really playing with that again. I don't actually necessarily want to do it, but I was just thinking, like, it's a brand.
It is.
And people, for whatever reason, respond to it.
It is a brand. Buck Lightning is in the fucking house.
Much to my chagrin, I feel like I'm a victim of my own fucking stupid jokes. Like if you ever, like I know you don't, but if you ever listen to GGH, anytime I make a joke, like I think at this point y'all, and certainly I mean not now, but from very early on, I think y'all knew like when I make a joke that's offhand, don't run with it. It's not. I'm not trying to make it a thing. If I'm trying to make something a thing, I keep doing it.
Well, of course.
And with them, like they don't quite get that. So like the other day we were talking about I ate a hot dog at Universal, and they make a specific giant hot dog over by King Kong,
nice,
called the Kong dog.
Oh God, if it was the Kong dong, that'd have been so good. That's
what they started calling it on UUOP. And so I made a video where I was actually, funny enough, like I'm so used to calling it the Kong Dong that when I walked up to the line to get it, like this was at 10:30 in the morning.
You said it.
Yeah, I was like, "Can I get a Kong? I mean, can I get the Kong hot dog?" And but I was telling them I was telling the guys about me eating it, and I was like, it was so thick that I ended up like having to break half of it off, and something happened where I said like, so I said like I put one half my mouth and I put the other one up my ass.
Nice.
And it was just an offhand joke, and now like they keep going like, yeah, Adam puts hot dogs up his ass, and I'm like, I guess. I was like, it's a joke. Like, it's not even a funny joke. Like,
you're like, dude, that was like 5 episodes ago. What the fuck?
The more they bring it up, the more I'm like, now it's just like kind of fucking awkward and uncomfortable.
That's because it's in your ass.
Yeah. You don't feel proud of yourself. That was a joke.
That was good. It was a good one. Anyway.
So
don't worry, I'll never bring up you having hot dogs in your butt. I promise.
Oh. Until Thursday when we're together.
Oh yes.
Anyway,
well, thanks guys for joining us. I was your host Wayne,
and apparently I'm Buck Lightning.
You know that's right. And the Rum Guy says goodbye. So remember, ladies and gentlemen, to keep it
rummy.
Rummy, yeah.
Hey now, Rum's an all-star. He's going to Florida.
Get paid.
MHOG